NightCap recap. What up, players?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. NightCap recap here for you. Back better than ever. I'm in South Florida, Boca Raton right now, usually in Sunrise for the Florida Panthers games. Back up in the great state of New Jersey, Teddy Rapantis. Guys, Jim Berenger, the NightCap recap. We're everywhere. We're first. Usually we're first. This week we're recording here on a Friday, getting you ready, teeing you up for Sunday's games because we'll talk about Thursday as well. And that's where we got to start with a New York groove because of Cam Scatterboo.
Love that intro, Jimmy. Always great to be live and in living color. Friday, Freaky Friday, I'll say, recording the NightCap recap. I know you're enjoying yourself down in the sunshine state of Florida. I'm keeping it for real here up in the Garden State. And, yeah, we got to hit this thing right off the top with your New York Football Giants. Usually we recap everybody on Sunday, but we got a couple things to talk about because we had that Thursday night upset game last night. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Giants short week, the complete meltdown, the garbage that was them in New Orleans, giving the game away. Because let's be honest, Giants should be 3-3 right now. But it's a tough place to play. I've always said it. No matter who was quarterback, going to New Orleans for the Giants was a tough place to play. But I like the rebound ability of this team. Come in there, the young guys, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, Wan'Dale Robinson, they just dominated the Philadelphia Eagles from start to finish. I mean, they're running the football. Scatterboo, 3 touchdowns, 98 yards rushing. Jackson Dart, 58 yards on the ground, score. And then he had another 195 yards through the air and another touchdown. Guys, there's a reason why the New York Football Giants drafted Scatterboo in the 4th round. This dude is like Stone Cold Steve Austin in the longest yard. That's how a white man runs a football.
I wish we could go back. We could go back. I was thinking about it. Back in April during the draft, we discussed both of our teams' drafts. You talked about the Giants draft. I talked about the Niners. And I think both of us were really high on this kid, Cam Scatterboo, coming out. I told you that I watched a little college football at the end of the year, and I watched Arizona State. Arizona State is where he went, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And I caught a game of him, and I just love the way he ran the ball. He is the dictionary definition of what a football player is. Just a throwback. He's a psycho. He's a throwback. This is the type of guy I remember playing high school football with. You had one of these guys on your team of that era of football. This is what Cam Scatterboo is. And I think both of us, if we find the clips, we're really high on this kid coming out of college. My coworker, the day of the game, before the game, at the end of the day, said, "Hey, do you think the Giants have any chance at all?" And I said, "It's one of those things where it's a Thursday game. The Eagles are reeling. I know you're coming off a loss, but if you can get a lucky turnover deep in your own territory, convert to 7 instead of 3, get a couple like lucky breaks to go your way, maybe a special teams play, that would be the key to the Giants' success. This time, that defense, give them credit. Jalen Hurts, something's off with him. I know the offensive play calling has been questionable. They got a new offensive play caller there. Brown and Smith complaining that they're not getting the ball. Barkley hasn't been able to run the ball effectively as he was last year. He was on pace, to break the 2K record last year. Of course, he kind of sat that last game and didn't do it. This year, he's only on pace for like 960 yards. That's not good.
No,
it's not good.
Not.
And the Eagles tried opening up the playbook to pass a little more, and Hurts was missing wide open guys. He overthrew Devontae Smith.
Oh, that
A.J.
was a
Brown.
game changer. That was a game changer.
Yeah, A.J. Brown was wide open in the middle of the field on an easy touchdown.
On the pick six, he's wide open.
On the pick six. So the Giants defensively, give them credit because they caused 5 turnovers. And if you're any team in the NFL, 5 turnovers is going to be very difficult to come back from. And, of course, Cam Scatterboo, 3 rushing touchdowns, almost 100 yards on the ground. And Jackson Dart, these 2 guys, let's say this, they don't know about the losing and that the Giants have had for the past decade. They haven't been here. They're injecting something into the veins of this organization that was sorely needed, right? I mean, people are telling us that we're at these games that you haven't seen an excitement or a happiness at MetLife Stadium for the Giants fans that you haven't seen in so long. It's because of these 2 kids that they're winners from where they came from, and they're bringing that here, and I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest. Like Ole Miss, they didn't get to the playoff, but they had a successful college season. Arizona State lost to Texas in a really good game in the quarterfinals of the college football playoff, and a big reason they came back was Scatterbill running the football because Sam Levitt didn't really have a good game. So, I mean, uh, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to see what happened when it comes to Scatterbo and the Giants, but they're injecting life into this franchise because they need it, right? Last couple years, it's still been really bent down. Oh, Daniel Jones, oh, Russell Wilson, and even the fans when Jackson Dart got hurt. Everybody that came into the game, they're like, oh no, he misses 2 throws. But you go back to Jalen Hurts for a minute. Let's just say this. I'll say this one. If he hits Devontae Smith on that play in the beginning of the third quarter, this is a different game. I'm going to be honest. Devontae Smith's wide open, and guess what? He's going for a touchdown, and this game is a different game. It might be a different outcome. But I also want to go back to this. You said the play calling of the Philadelphia Eagles. Barkley hit 2 30-yard runs early in the game, but they never went back to it. Like, it was working.
And I think it's because the Giants defense actually didn't allow it anymore. I'll be honest with you. I think they tried to, and then Barkley was just getting hit in the backfield every single time because once the Giants built a 10-point lead, the Eagles kind of had to pass, and they were telegraphing what they were doing. So even when they tried to get back to the run, it really wasn't working. So just think, like you said it off the top, just think about this. You should have won that game in New Orleans against that team, right? And you think about the Dallas game, that they blew it in overtime, right? When Russ was the quarterback. You could be sitting at 4-2 somehow. The Eagles could be sitting at 3-3 because they should have lost to the Rams also. Dallas maybe isn't – I'm not saying that they're, going to be this team that's going to make a playoff run, but they're 2-1. Because of Dak Prescott, they're right in the mix, and the Commanders now are getting a couple wins. This is a more wide-open division than I think that you and I predicted back in September. We said it was probably a 2-team race. I think every team here now, if the Giants can string something here, look, we still don't expect them to win more than 7 games, but at least make it to the fact that we said, let's be competitive this year. This division just got a whole lot interesting, Jimmy.
No, it did. I'm going to be honest. It really did. Like, I'm going to say this too. Like, they just won 2 division, like they won a division game I didn't think they were going to win. Like, I'm going to be honest, I had 2 losses in the loss column for these division games. Like, I always say, if you can split your division games, you might be there, right? Well, guess what? They just beat a Philadelphia Eagles team that maybe on most nights they don't win. So that's that one. And look, the Dallas game, they probably should have won because Russ missed open receivers too. And the defense didn't stop anybody. The defense makes 1 stop in that Dallas game. The Giants are actually winning that game. So we said it. You asked me the question at the beginning going into the Chiefs game when we talked about could they have a shot at beating the Chiefs, and they almost did. Why? If the offense and the defense could get on the same page, that's what you saw against Philadelphia. If they're doing that, the Giants can make this division that is so tough because the NFC East used to be so tough. You didn't know which team was winning.
Absolutely. And like I said, these 2 kids bringing the excitement, the enjoyment. Brian Dable, I mean, I think he got a slap on the wrist from Mara and the NFL because coaches and players can't go into the medical tent when a guy's getting a concussion test. Russ came out there and threw, like you said, threw 2 passes in the dirt and the crowd's booing. And you could see Dable's face like, hurry up, get this thing going, get Dart back in here. Scatterbo tried to go in there. I'd never seen a player ever try to do that before. He, like you said, he's a psycho. They pushed him out of the tent. Thankfully, he was okay. But, yeah, you got to follow the protocol there.
He owned up to it. Yeah.
Yeah, he owned up to it. We'll give him that. And, look, you just got to be excited. Again, like, you want to have fun watching these games and be like, all right, my team might not win a Super Bowl, but they're not boring anymore. They got personality.
At least if they don't get to the playoffs, I mean, you're going to have a losing season, but at least it's going to be fun.
But the Giants have been boring for so long, right? The product on the field even, right? Yeah. You want to say, yeah, they stink. They can't win games. Even the product on the field in losing seasons hasn't been good. This is something to be excited about, and we both said it coming into the year. Once Dart gets in here and Scatterbo becomes the main running back, it's unfortunate. It's crazy they did this without Malik Neighbors. Imagine Malik Neighbors was playing. So, just imagine what the ceiling would be if Neighbors didn't get hurt for the year. I'm just excited for the New York fan base that has been waiting a long time for the right pieces to be there. And on the other side of it, for the Eagles, I don't know what's up. Look, they're going to see the Giants again in 2 weeks, so maybe they're going to be pissed off and take out their anger right there. But this has been bubbling up. This is what happens to the Eagles. This happened 2 years ago when things got off the rails with them. Things are going well, but they're not looking productive on the field. And then I think the media, they're definitely reading and listening to what the media is saying. Because AJ Brown's just out here. They're asking him about, hey, did you have a players only meeting? And he's like, I don't remember it. I don't know.
I got no comment. Next question.
And then the coaches and players like, no, we all were there. You were there. So like something's going on there, and it's not good, and they got to fix that ASAP.
Look, I think the issue with the Eagles though is this. I say this one. You look at it, right, Lefty, and you say the offensive line isn't as good as it was. There's injuries on the O-line. The offense isn't clicking. New offensive coordinator. Jalen Hurts, something's going on. Saquon might be banged up a little bit. So I think if you look at it, the Eagles have all these issues. They were able to get corrected, but the offensive line is banged up, and that was their bread and butter last year. And I think, let's be honest, I think when you rely on a move like the tush push way too much, that becomes who you are, and that becomes your offense. I mean, 4 straight tush pushes for a touchdown, like that's a little ridiculous.
Do we need that? We don't need that.
I don't. All right, I give you the one if you get the first down or the touchdown. But, I mean, it's clearly guys are jumping early. Like, it's clear as day guys are jumping early, and no one gives a crap about it.
Yeah, and look, we'll say this too. Jalen Carter missed this game. He was out. I mean, if his presence is in this game, maybe it's a little different. And Quinyon Mitchell, the best corner, the best player in the secondary, got hurt in the game and was out. No excuses, but I'm just saying that, look, they were missing a couple guys.
I think the Eagles overlooked the Giants, and I think they overlooked
100%.
And I think they overlooked the Broncos too. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, look, 2 straight fourth quarters with actually 2 straight second halves where the Eagles didn't produce much of anything. Denver was losing that game on Sunday.
Actually, if you think about it, 3.
Yeah, with the Rams, right?
They were killing the Rams, and then their offense went
and then did nothing until that late touchdown at the end, right?
Exactly, did nothing.
Right. So something's going on here in second halves of games. You know what? Yeah, and here's why. Remember last year, like you said, they were putting teams away early. Like they didn't have to do anything in the second half of games last year, right? They were like so far ahead in the first half. Barkley was running over everybody. That's not going to work every year. Every season's different. So you're going to have to like play 60 minutes of a football game, and definitely overlooked. And Denver coming back on them on Sunday, just uncharacteristic, especially at the link, for the defending Super Bowl champs, to let the Broncos come in there and push them around like that in the second half. So something's got to be corrected, and hopefully they do it quick, because this division is going to be tougher than they think.
Right, because Commanders are playing well. Giants are there. Cowboys, like you said. You know what? And a guy that almost beat them, Baker can't almost beat him too. Baker, I mean,
that's right.
I mean, I think the guy should be in the MVP race right now. I mean, huge win in Seattle for the Bucs. I mean, another comeback. The comeback Bucs is what we're gonna call them. The comeback kids. That's all they do. They trail from behind. They come back. I mean, this dude is a baller. Cleveland, I don't know what you were doing. Another regret like Belichick. I think he's Belichick 2.0. Everybody remembers that. He gets them to the playoffs and then gets fired. For whatever reason, like that made no sense.
The Browns have a history of this, Jimmy.
I know they do. That's why they're the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns is the Browns.
The Browns is the Browns, but Baker needs to be in the MVP conversation. Love what he's doing. We said it, a 2-team race, I think, down there in the NFC South between Atlanta and Tampa Bay, and Baker's doing it without Mike Evans too.
Without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin this week. Look, the Niners and the Bucs, we'll talk about that later. Both teams are missing guys. It's crazy. But you're right. Without Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, he's on track to be Rookie of the Year right now. He's on fire. Baker talked him up in the preseason in camp. And they asked him, they said, hey, what are you most looking forward to this year? And he just said Emeka Egbuka. And we see why, right? We don't even need Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. You're getting it done with this guy. Bucky Irvin's not there. So this is all on Baker. And I don't know if you saw the clip of some Seattle Seahawks fans trying to rile up Baker before they ran out onto the field. And I won't drop the derogatory term, but he said, you're going to be really sorry in the second half, and called him something. And I love when Baker, I think he's one of those guys that if you talk crap to him, he's going to make you pay. You know, a lot of athletes that do that. You could probably name hockey players, tennis players.
I mean, we know the biggest.
Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the biggest
Kobe
guy.
Bryant, Michael Jordan. You shit talk them.
Yeah.
Things are not going to go your way. He is one of the guys in the NFL that I think he plays better
when people talk crap to him.
So I watched a lot of that end of that game. I watched a lot of that game. I got to watch it, and kudos also to Sam Darnold because he's also resurrected his career. This was like the battle of the two guys that were in Carolina together.
Cast-offs.
Yeah, the cast-offs. Their original teams threw them out, same draft class, and now they're making their way up to that upper mid, as we call in wrestling, the upper mid card. They went from like jobbers to mid carders. they're making their way up, and both these guys were trading punches. Seattle would come down and score. Baker would match. Darnold would match. And then it was always going to be who has the ball last, right? And Baker
I was very
had the ball last.
surprised by that because the Seattle plays so well at home that the Bucs come in there and
Sam, I'll give you that. Like Sam, he's known for making the crushing interception.
Yeah.
This wasn't on him. It deflected off a defender's helmet and it landed in another defender's arms. So it really wasn't on him too much. But Baker took advantage of what the Bucs have been doing for 5-6 straight weeks. Winning games at the buzzer every single time. So I think you're right. Early season MVP race, Baker Mayfield has to be on the list for sure.
Or what about my boy Danny Jones? Bold prediction.
That's your
Colts,
guy.
Dude, bold prediction Colts, baby. Like just throw it out on the limb, throw it to the dartboard at Colts, man. They keep rolling, man. Dominated the Raiders. Keeping pace with the Jags after the Jags' big win on Monday night. That was a huge win for them. I watched. We were texting back and forth in that game.
Yeah.
AEW Jags, baby. Just rolling through. That's their name on the NightCap recap. The AEW Jags, all elite Jags, whatever you want to call them. But
that's right.
We always said Indianapolis had the defense, had the tools. They just need a quarterback. Well, they got the quarterback. I don't know where Daniel Jones found his talent or where he found his skill set. Maybe Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota just for like a season. But he's calm, cool, collective. You got Jonathan Taylor running football. The Indianapolis Colts, we said this. If it was supposed to be a Texas division, but we said this too. Again, go back it. We got the tape. We got the episodes. They're all linked on Spotify. They're all up. They're now up on specialty media on the YouTube. You can all find it. You can all clip it, and we'll all tell you we were right. If the Colts and the Jags were better, they could make this a division. It wasn't going to be Houston running away with this thing. Now Houston's playing catch-up because the Jags and the Colts are so good.
And you answered your own question. You asked, where did Daniel Jones find this? I saw the clip. He was on the podcast with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Andrew Whitworth, and he talked about his pit stop, his 1 year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. Kind of took a pot shot at the Giants a little bit, but hey, this, not directly. Yeah, not directly, but he's just talking about the process and the coaching and that the way Kevin O'Connell and the quarterback coaches and that room prepares is on another level. He said the details of what we were preparing for on a week-to-week basis was levels above what he was doing it with the Giants coaching staff. So that's more an indictment on the coaching staff. Maybe you need to have better quarterback coaches. Maybe you need to have better processes and attention to detail. And although he didn't even play a snap for the Vikings, the way he saw Sam Darnold prepare and Kevin O'Connell get his quarterback ready, he took that to Indianapolis, and it's clearly paying off. And we see it with guys that make stops. This Baker with Sean McVay. Anybody who's with Kyle Shanahan ends up being better. Sam Darnold was in San Francisco before he went to Minnesota. So you see it, the coaching matters, and Jones has limited the turnovers. That was a problem for him with the Giants, right? Not turning the ball over, and he's got one of the best running games around, and the O-line is great. So recipe for success, and another guy who's right there in the mix with Baker Mayfield in the MVP conversation. It's crazy to say. We're only 6 weeks into this thing, so anything can happen at any point in the season. But if the Colts and the Jags just hang around like this, how can you not put this guy in the conversation? And to touch on the Jags victory, they got some big-time victories. They beat the Niners. They beat the Chiefs. And I said, I think the Jags can hang in and win this game. If their defense has been really good. The pick six, a rare pick six of Patrick Mahomes because of that one defender that had some great tape study on Pat Mahomes. And the Jags are right in this thing too, man. It's crazy to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it was the last second. I mean, they maybe got some help towards the end of the game, but that's okay. But again, we talked about it. How many one-score games can you win last year? Like, they lived and died with the one-score games. Now I think they're 0 for 4 in one-score games this year.
Yeah, they are.
The Chiefs are. So, I mean, you think about it. Eventually, everything had to turn. Like, you can't win 14, 15 straight one-score games. It's impossible. But the Jags are hanging in there. ETN, Trevor Lawrence, their new coach. There's, again, energy, right? Energy with the Jags, not just Tony Khan and Shad Khan in the locker room. But on the field, like, the players are believing in the coach. The coach is bringing the energy. It's like we see with the Giants, Scatterboo, Dart. The players are buying into it. Coach is buying into it. The Jags have that right now, and there's a belief that they can win.
I don't know if you saw the locker room celebration with Shad Khan. Did you see Shad Khan?
Yeah, I did.
Just Shad Khan just saying, hey, we're going to have this forever. It's just the funniest thing ever, saying the Jags are going to be like this forever. But yeah, you're right. Energy. Liam Cohen, he went from having a awkward opening press conference with the Duval comment, and now he's sitting here at 4-1, and you can't say anything about it. It's kind of like when Dan Campbell had an awkward opening press conference with the Lions. A lot of people made fun of him for saying we're going to bite kneecaps and all this other stuff. But guess what?
Lions are bite kneecaps.
Yeah, the Lions are doing it. So process, results, coaching matters. But I agree, it's all about the energy, man. And it's good to see two different teams that have been down for a little bit on the come up again.
That's good stories. We have some good stories. We also have another good story. Your Niners, man, beat the Rams shorthanded.
Yeah, I mean, shorthanded is an understatement.
Shorthanded on was it last Thursday, right?
Last Thursday, yeah.
So we're a little going back a week, but they do it with no, Mac Jones, man. I told everybody needs to go find the tape. I put it on the airwaves about Mac Jones. I've written about Mac Jones on my Twitter account. I loved Mac Jones coming out of Alabama. I knew this was the guy that he was. The problem is going through different coordinators in New England and this and that, and you're finally seeing it getting settled down with Drake May too. They almost made that problem. But he goes to Kyle Shanahan, and he's playing well. Undermanned, understaffed, all the injuries, and the Niners found a way to beat a very good Rams team, and now they have 3 wins inside that division.
Yeah, and everybody wrote them off coming into that game. Everybody was like, don't even tune in.
We did.
I did. I'm a Niners fan, and I said the Niners are going to need a miracle to win this thing. Brock Purdy, not playing. Ricky Parasol, not playing. Juwan Jennings, not playing. Ayuk is not there. Bosa's not there anymore, not playing. We're missing a guy in the O-line. We're missing another defender. 8 or 9 guys not playing in this game. And I even said, you know what? They're just going to throw out what they got. Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, Tonjes as our tight end. Mac Jones is going to go out there, just try not to get hurt and make it competitive. Niners opening drive, go right down the field, get a touchdown. Take a 2-score lead early in this game, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Shanahan, to me, had one of his best coached games he's been here since 2017 for the Niners. I've watched a lot of Niners games. This is one of his better coached games up at the top because he had to strategically come up with a game plan to stop this Rams pass rush, and he figured it out. The Niners haven't been getting it done running the ball, actually. They're actually a team that doesn't have a rushing touchdown. McCaffrey's been getting a little dump-offs and swing passes and screens, and he's making plays. And Mac Jones took a beating. I don't know how many times he got taken off the field where he was limping, his knee, his ankle. He's eating bananas on the sideline because he's cramping up. He's coming back in there, and he's just standing in the pocket, taking pressure and making – Kendrick Bourne, 10 passes, 100-plus yards. It was unbelievable, but the big play was the defensive stop there. Fred Warner played great, too. The defensive stop, the McVay, I'm not going to hurt him too bad on this because I understand why he probably went for it. He's
the
like,
play
hey,
call
listen.
was awful. No.
The play, yeah. Going for it wasn't bad. The call was bad.
The call was bad. I don't mind him going for it because you have to go for it in that situation, but the play call was absolutely atrocious.
Especially if Puka Nacua has been killing them all night. I for sure thought, okay, here comes like a 2-yard in route to Puka Nacua. Is going to be wide open. They'll get the 1st and goal, and then they got 4 chances to punch it in and win this thing. I for sure thought that's what was happening. I didn't expect Kyron Williams to take the ball there. Defender comes up, makes the hit. Fred Warner's involved. Man, walk-off tackle to win the game. I mean, Coach of the Year, early candidate, got to be here because he's got 4-1 with like half of the All-Pros missing. George Kittle's another guy that I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention George Kittle, the All-Pro tight end, also not there. So Mac Jones stepping in, filling in. Love the suit he walked in. Like he was wearing like a Two-Face suit. And he shrugged his shoulders. When he got tackled, he got up. He said, "Get off my back." Money Mac is making it happen for the Niners.
And I like what he said post-game. He said, "This is still Brock's team. I'm just here to do a job." So
class act. Love that he said that.
But there's the good. Now here's the very ugly. Because we talked about bad when it came to Philadelphia. Because it's bad. Yeah. It's not ugly yet. It's just bad. This is bad. Ugly. This is ugly for the Baltimore Ravens because this is not the John Harbaugh coach team defense that I've seen. This is not the offense I've seen from this team. Yeah, Lamar wasn't there, so obviously they're going to be a different team. But their defense cannot stop anybody. It is awful. It's like Lincoln Riley's defense at USC and Oklahoma all those days, those college football references that people need to get. The Ravens are in big-time trouble. Like, I know that we're the division we're in, but it is getting late early for this team because the Steelers had the week off and every team lost.
Yeah, and I thought the Texans were going to be a victory for the Ravens here, that they could pick up at least one, get to a second win and be like, okay, look, we're going to be like 2-4 when Lamar gets back. You're looking at 1-5 now because you got the Rams coming in. They're going to win. Rams are probably going to win this game. Look, we're not going to write everybody off.
No, we're not going to write them off, but this isn't. Yeah, they don't have Mac Jones as a quarterback, and their defense can't stop
Cooper Rush.
But Cooper Rush. If their defense was stopping teams and holding teams like they're losing like 21-17, I would be a little bit more confident and say, okay, well, anything can happen. I think the Rams are going to come in and the Rams are going to be mad and the Rams are going to show they are the greatest show on turf again. And if Lamar's not playing and the defense can't stop anybody, this is going to be a long day. And I think this might be the year the Baltimore Ravens are going to miss the playoffs.
It's crazy because a lot of us, I had him as a Super Bowl pick. They're going to be 1-5. They're going to have the bye week, and Lamar's going to come back, and they're going to try to salvage whatever they can. And I'm not going to completely count them out. The odds of the playoffs go drastically down at 1-5. You're going to have to go on a huge run
and get a lot of help.
And get a lot of help on the second half of the season. And I just can't see it happening because, like you said, the defense, too many injuries to overcome, can't stop anybody. And the fact that, like you said, the Steelers, the winners of the day, the Bengals lose, the Browns lose, the Bengals are turning to Joe Flacco, just got traded there, right? And the Browns sitting there with the rookie quarterback. If you're the Steelers, you're like, hey, man, we just got to rack up some division victories here, and we'll be golden, right? So just really, really ugly in Baltimore, and you hate to see it because it's usually a really well-coached team, and Lamar's been an MVP player.
Yeah, it's tough to see, but we'll see. Sometimes you need these seasons to realize that you're still not the best, one of the best teams, and you got to look at your defense, and their defense isn't very good. But speaking of a team, one of your bold predictions playing really well right now, the New England Patriots. Drake may go up into Buffalo, and I think Buffalo was overlooking this team. I'm being honest. They wore uniforms like Penn State, so they had a whiteout. Teams that have whiteouts don't, and they played like Penn State. So I mean, and their coached like he was James Franklin. So yeah, it looked and felt like Penn State and the Nittany Lions. But the first quarter should have been an indication of this game on Sunday night. The Bills were just off. Everything about Josh Allen was off. The team felt off. They were right there, but they just couldn't get it going offensively. And credit to the New England Patriots, getting the defense, getting the turnovers, converting into points. Stephon Diggs just goes in there. Huge revenge game for him. You knew he was amped up. Even the first interview, when they're about to kick the ball off, he's amped up. And he's high-fiving fans still. Like, they love him there. And he just went in, and they just went in there, and they just smoked the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and I love to see it because Mike Vrabel, I knew that eventually a Mike Vrabel coach team will figure it out. They've been very uneven the first couple of weeks, 2-2. And you know, this coming into this game, I didn't think going into Buffalo that they were going to pull off this kind of performance. So credit to Vrabel for having those guys ready to play. Drake May, while statistically maybe not the best game, he was able to get out of the pocket and make some big time throws, especially to Stephon Diggs, as you said, who definitely was up for this one against his former Buffalo Bills. He definitely wanted this one. He wanted to prove something to them. And the defense of the Pats causing the turnovers on the Bills early on in this game was a fumble fest. Both teams were turning it over. It was like a cold night. So something was up there, and the Pats were able to take advantage, and props to them. And like you said, the Bills overlooked them. Every team in the NFL now has a loss. The Bills and the Eagles were coming into last week undefeated, right? And this was, popping a champagne in Miami. And this was one of the earliest times I can recall having no undefeated teams. Usually we get to about week 6 or 7.
And then it's over.
It's over. Yeah. So like this tells you that this year it's kind of wide open. Maybe there's not a favorite. It's really just I feel like the Lions have looked the best out of anybody.
Well, they're gonna have a big game coming up.
Yeah.
The week 6 look
yeah.
at.
Yeah. So props to the Pats. One of my bold predictions. Now that I got the Pats and Broncos rolling in a positive direction, I want to see what both these teams do here in the AFC going forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Pats do in that division. I think they'll be a playoff team. But if we look ahead, you started it with good transition to the week 6 look ahead. I mean, got to start Detroit and Kansas City on Sunday night. I mean, that's a huge game, 4-1. Lions going in there. Chiefs starting to find their game again offensively, going to start running the ball a little bit more. That's a game I'm going to be watching Sunday night, hopefully when I'm back home. If not, it'll be in South Florida, but that's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
You're home away from home.
Exactly. Another game I'm circling, 49ers and Bucks, 2 4-1 teams in Tampa. That'll be a fun game to watch. I think that should be a good one. And then obviously, obviously last night's game was really good, Thursday night's game. But I got to go to the Monday night games for a minute. I'm going to circle both Monday night games.
They both look good.
They both look good. Bills against Falcons. Let's see if Bills can bounce back or Falcons get a big win here. And then the Bears and the Commanders, because let's be honest, this was the game that changed both teams' season last year.
Yeah.
At the end with the Hail Mary. Like that game changed everything for both teams last year. So the rematch in Washington, I think that's the one I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah, both of those. Let's talk about those Monday night games quick. Both of those teams, the Falcons and the Bears, are coming off byes, plus the extra day of rest on a Monday night. So that's interesting to me because Buffalo, letdown game against the Pats. For them to go into Atlanta now and try to get a win, it's going to be a tougher task than it normally would. You really want to say, okay, the Bills will bounce back, right? But Atlanta's coming off that bye, and they got the extra day of rest, and Buffalo has struggled to run the ball these last couple of games, and Atlanta's good at stopping the run. So Josh Allen's going to really have to step his game up if they want to get this victory. The weather won't be a factor. It's in the dome, so Allen's going to have that to his advantage. So I expect that one to be high scoring because the Bills also can't stop anybody with the run.
They can't. They can't.
So Bijan Robinson might have a game here. And then, like you said, the tipped Hail Mary last year, the Bears returning to the scene of the crime in D.C. I think it was in D.C. I don't think it was in Chicago. I'm pretty sure it was D.C. because I remember the Bears defender. Yeah, the Bears defender was talking smack to the Commanders fans as it was happening, right?
I remember that.
Right. So the Bears off to like a pretty decent start. Caleb was getting some momentum going into DC now, wanting some revenge for that. That's going to be another good game. So I'm looking forward to both of those. One thing I want to say about Lions and Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs they lost this game to the Jags. Can the Chiefs keep up scoring with the Lions? That's my only question, right?
And can Kelsey catch the football? Because they're kind of still off on that. And
Chris Jones is getting a lot of heat in the media for giving up on a play that he could have tackled Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, he deserves to get heat for that because you never stop. You never stop.
You want to stop the noise if you're the Chiefs. Hold the best offense in the NFL to under 30 points because they've been dropping 30 plus every single game this year except the opener when they lost to Green Bay. So I want to see if KC can keep up with the scoring that the Lions are definitely going to put up in this game. And then Niners Bucks, what I'll say on that is that's what I wanted to say. It's a war of attrition. Both teams are going to be missing key players. Evans and Godwin out. Bucky out for Tampa Bay. So Baker's just got Ibuka, Kadon, and Rashad White. And then with the Niners, Purdy out again, Pearsall out again, Mac Jones getting the start. Jennings should probably play. So you have Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, and you have, of course, Christian McCaffrey's always there. So to me, it's just going to be another one of these. Like the Bucks have come to the last minute. The Niners, every win they've had has been under 7 points as well. So it's going to be one of these games that's going to go to the wire. Who's got the ball last? That's going to be another exciting game in Tampa. So those are the 4 big ones this week.
I forgot to mention another one. Seattle going out to Jacksonville.
Ooh, that's a fun one right there.
That's a fun game. And shout out to our boy Jim Foote. You got Joe Flacco again this week.
Yeah, Foote, I'm sorry for bringing up Joe Flacco and what happened when we were driving back from Toronto. I don't think the same outcome will happen.
No, I don't
the Packers,
think so.
Yeah, the Packers are coming off the bye. They've had time to lick their wounds from that 40-point tie to the Dallas Cowboys, and I think the defense will get back on track. Yeah, Flacco's got better weapons now, but I think Green Bay is gonna win this game still. So, but yeah, that Jags Seattle game, that's got another one, a shootout written all over it too, probably.
I don't know, 1 o'clock game, Seattle coming east.
That's going to be tough for them. But the talent on both sides is going to be fun to watch on that one.
So, all right, here we are, lock of the week.
Oh, I'll give you mine.
I got one. I don't
go
know
ahead.
if
What do
I'm
you got?
confident in it, but I think
Yeah.
Steelers coming off the bye beat the Browns.
Okay. Yeah, look, Cleveland's defense has been really good, but I think Steelers coming off the buys with Tomlin is a good bet as any. For me, it's the Indianapolis Colts. The Cardinals just blew one of the most. I don't know how they blew this.
Real quick, before we get into your prediction,
Yeah.
I just think we forgot to mention this in the rundown.
Yeah.
You guys, I never played football, but I know one thing: you drop the ball after you get over the goal line. Like that. Like I mean, that's it. Like
that's 101. That's fundamentals.
That's fundamentals. You cross the goal line, and if you don't want to drop the football and do a spike, you hand it to the official. How many dudes are dropping the ball before the line, before it breaks the plane, and it's going the other way?
It happens more than it should, Jimmy. It's
really
crazy. So it drives me nuts anytime I see it, and especially because I had DeMarcado starting on my fantasy team, and he 8-point swing on that one. But the one thing with that came out of that was the coach Gannon was seen on the sidelines. People want to say he hit DeMarcado. Look, my take on that is I come from an era of old school coaching. My freshman year, my coach grabbed me by the helmet and just pulled it. And nobody batted an eye. It's just the era we grew up in. We come from tough coaching where the coaches cursed, and it was it was pretty much like, this is how you're getting disciplined. I know the stance on coaching now has gotten softer. You have to worry about whose feelings you're going to hurt and whatnot. I'm not saying that it was the right thing to do to hit the guy, but I watched the video. It looked to me more like that he slapped him in the shoulder pads, which you're wearing shoulder pads. You're protected. He's not getting hit physically. He's not getting physically assaulted. It was a heat of the moment thing. So my take on that is it's okay for a coach to be emotional after a play like that, because as a professional football player, you're costing your team a game on a fundamental thing. And it was a game that the Cardinals, unfathomably, you should never lose that. You're up 21-6. You had so many opportunities to finish that game off, and you let Cam Ward come down and throw a 60-yard pass, setting them up for field goal range, and the Titans win their first game. So to me, the Cardinals, I think, are just that's going to crash their season completely. And I like the Colts as a lock to defeat the Arizona Cardinals.
Maybe that'll change the Titans' season as they go to Vegas.
I don't know about that. They were lucky to win. Even the coach Callahan in the locker rooms couldn't even say, "Hey men, it was because of what you did." He said, "Sometimes the ball has to bounce your way." That's not a sign that you did anything good. You just got lucky, man.
They did get lucky. But guys, remember, fundamentals, kids. Hold on to the football. 2 hands on the ball at all times, and make sure the defender doesn't punch it out. That's what I got to say about it. I didn't even play the game, and I know about it. And
you know it, man.
I got one more for you. This is from Papa Berenger. Tackle at the legs, never at the ball.
Well said. See, Papa Berenger knows what he's talking about. Always go for the guy's legs.
Oh, he can't go nowhere if you grab his legs.
That's right. That's why when you see shoestring tackles, even you're like, that's a smart play because that's how you get a guy down who's got his speed going. Grab the leg, just get him off course a little bit.
Just one sudden movement. So, but yeah, no break here. We go from the football, we're going into some other sports real quick, just to go hurry up offense here with this. I'm down here in Florida, open the NHL season. Florida Panthers raise the banner. Great night. The hospitality has been good. Obviously, no Barkov or Matthew Tkachuk in the lineup, but they've been playing well. Sergei Bobrovsky's been a horse back there for them first two games. Obviously they're going to have to find their offense, and they're going to get some things going, but they're going to grind some things out. And you bank wins, as they say in the National Hockey League. You can't make the playoffs in October, but you can sure hurt your chances in October. They just banked 4 points against teams they definitely should beat with or without their key players in the lineup. They've done it. So it's been great to be here where the season ended last year, to be here when the season opens, get to be banner night. And then you go out, you watch a little bit more hockey, you see the Rangers game. They bounce back after their loss to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, again, is 2 games. So, they impressed me, but again, it's 2 games. We'll see what happens. But you go around the league, again, 1 game, we're not sure what teams are right now. We think we know, but we may or may not know. But it's just been fun here. 3 games here, and I'll be back up in Jersey to watch some games. But it was fun because I got to go out with some of the guys I've known for a while down here over the last couple of trips down. They invited me out to this place called the Infield, and we were watching the Yankee game against the Jays.
Right.
One of the guys is from Toronto, big Blue Jays fan, and we got out of the car. I'm like, just leave that jersey in the car, buddy. Like just leave that.
That's perfect. Well said.
But no, it was a fun night. We watched it. We watched that game. We were all cheering when there was a lot of Yankee fans in this bar. And let me tell you something. The place went nuts when Aaron Judge hit that home run.
Oh, nuts. So I was there at the game. Shout out to my company. They had an extra ticket. Got a call. Hey, you want to come to the game? I said, you know what? I can't turn that down. It's an 80-degree night.
Why not?
Beautiful night. Yeah, why not? As we say here in the Nightcap recap. Not a big Yankees fan at all, but I've been to many games, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? Like, let's spark the comeback for the Yankees here. Got to go in the Delta Suite. Susan Waldman was right above me. John Smoltz was right above me. The announcer's booth. That was cool. Right behind home plate. What great seats. Blessed to have been able to witness this in person, because I just love sports in general, man. And I got the video of it, and we posted it on our page. Go check it out. Aaron Judge jacks one out, and the best part of that video, and in the stadium, the anticipation, the hush, because we're like, oh, that ball looks like it's going foul, and I thought it was going foul. Guy next to me was like, yo, I think that's gonna hit the foul pole. Bam, hits the foul pole, fair, home run, 3-run shot, ties the game. Jazz comes up next at bat, hits the home run. But the electricity when Judge hit that home run, never experienced anything like that in a baseball stadium before. That was my first live in-person playoff game. So a blessing and an honor to be there to witness that. Unfortunately, the Yanks lose the next day, couldn't keep it going. But for one night, it's unfortunate that might not be remembered because the Yanks didn't make anything of it. But that's one of the best playoff moments. And you can't – Aaron Judge, I'm sorry, no more questions about him.
No more questions about it.
Got it done in the clutch. And in this series, look at his numbers.
He batted 500 in the series.
Yeah. He put up big hits every single time, even in the game that they lost the next night. Didn't go down with strikeouts. He had an RBI to end his season. So what a moment to be there, though. And I'm sure, like you said, it was going insane there. Yankees fans were going crazy. Just an awesome electric moment to witness live, my man.
Because you were waiting for it. Because Judge had not done that in the postseason. He's had some hits here and there, but he had never had that moment. Like
never.
The game on the line, tie the baseball game, get the momentum switched back to the Yankees, because let's not forget the Yankees.
It was 6-1. It was 6-2.
Yeah. This game was over again.
Yeah.
And here's Judge, bam, tie game. So that's what you wanted to see. The rest of the team, we've talked about it. We said it when we were in Toronto, Foot, all of us, Kavak. Like, we all agreed the Yankees were not a playoff team. They proved it. They just proved it, but no heads are going to roll because Hal Steinbrenner loves mediocrity. It's not George, because if George was still running this team, half the guys in the management department would have been fired already. And because it's World Series or bust, and too bad if you don't like that mentality. That's the Yankee fan I came from. That's the mentality this team should have, but it loves mediocrity right now. And that's my 2 cents on the New York Yankees, because I think they could be better than they are.
Absolutely agreed. And look, if you're not following Jimmy B, Jersey Jim on Twitter, on all his socials, if you're a hockey fan, you need to go check him out because he's all over the place. He just talked about it, putting out all the content, the stories, the articles. Dude, you're the hardest working man in podcasting. I love it.
Dude, we did it. We did Rob Peterson's show today. Check that out up on YouTube. We did Cats and Bolts on Thursday. That's up there. I've done my own stuff down here, talking to players, meeting, making some contacts, talking to some guys. But real quick, you mentioned in the group chat, breakfast. Well, usually it's breakfast at Wimbledon, but we're breakfast with wrestling this week.
Yeah.
Crown Jewel down in Australia. Saw some clips come out from the little pregame thing. I kind of wonder if we're getting a swerve here with Seth and the Vision, kind of like he's kind of like saying no, but maybe he's gonna get help somewhere, and like he'll
beat for sure,
Cody, and he'll beat Cody. I feel like this is a swerve coming. I've watched too much wrestling to say to myself, I'm not falling for this again.
Yeah, we know too much now at this point, but absolutely, this is going to be a swerve. Somebody or something or somebody is going to help Seth Rollins, and I think Rollins needs to win this match. Cody doesn't need it. We know he's the face of the company.
He's beat Seth like 3 straight times anyway.
Beat him 3 times. They're picking up where they left off in 2022. Cody won this thing last year over Gunther. Seth needs it, and admittedly, like some of the steam they've had has kind of like the product hasn't been that great the last few months, and a lot has to do with the piss poor buildup after The Rock's involvement with John Cena, the botching of John Cena's last year. It's unfortunate.
Rock karma, buddy. Your movie's not doing well.
Yeah, Rock's movie's not doing well as you see, so he should be back at any moment. But like we always say, I think that build up to 40 was just so special. It's going to be tough to compare things to it.
Like,
but
I think I gotta say this real quick. Sorry to cut you off here.
No, it's all right.
The fact that we got Nakamura back, old theme song. I think we got Street Profits back to their old theme song. Maybe we're starting Tama Tonga's back on SmackDown. Like I think
he's back.
I think maybe we can get something.
And they're making creative changes, supposedly, from what we're reading here. Road Dogg's still the lead writer on SmackDown. I think specifically SmackDown has really taken a hit with the quality of the show. It used to be must-watch, tune in to watch it.
Apparently, I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah, I got it on right now, and so far it's been a really good show. So I have faith that they'll get it right because it seems like they're listening to the fans. Trips listens to the fans. They're making the changes that they need to. But I agree. I think Seth's going to win this thing at Perth. On the women's side, I think La Primera is just on a rocket ship right now, and they want to keep that going with her. I think she's going to beat Tiffy Time in that matchup, so that should be interesting. And I want to see what comes out of this with the build-up to War Games. What's going to happen there?
We're going to get some stuff here because, apparently, we got the street fight with Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. Something's going to happen there.
Yep.
John Cena, AJ Styles is going to be a banger. I mean, you guys got to go back to, what was it, 2016? Their match?
Oh, so I'm excited. Yeah, here's the thing with that. Look, we like to have some story. I know we're excited to just get the match. It would have been nice if we had something here. Like I said, we need some kind of verbal thing on the mic with these two. Great we're getting a match, but I want a little more out of this, too, in the build-up.
Exactly. But I think we'll definitely get, because Survivor Series is next month. Yeah.
November 29th, yeah.
So I think they're going to build something here. This is what they do with their pay-per-views now. They just build to the next one, and there's going to be a ton of involvement somewhere.
And we're also getting a Saturday night's main event, I believe, on the 1st of November. So there's something in between. Something's going to happen. You're right. Those shows are glorified like just Raw or SmackDowns. Nothing really of importance ever happens at these shows. The other shot I want to give is our guy, LA Knight, continues to, just take it to the next level. CM Punk got him pretty good on Monday night. And even LA Knight knew it because he kind of just gave him a nod and said that was good, right? He got him good because CM Punk's, we know he's the main guy on the mic. But LA Knight stood toe-to-toe with him, and LA Knight's been putting in the work, to get himself in position. I feel better about it now that he will get a title run at some point. I just don't know when. So I'm not going to come on here and complain every week, give it to him, because I think we're going to get it at some point. I'm just enjoying the work he's doing because I think he's clearly making an effort to improve himself.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you're going with Punk too, to see yourself toe to toe, right? Like we said that when MJF stepped up to the mic with CM Punk and AEW.
Yeah.
You got to test yourself against the big boys. And LA Knight went against Roman Reigns. He went to these top guys. Now you go against the Macho Man on the mic with CM Punk. Like,
right.
I mean, look, he did get flustered a little bit.
He did, absolutely, yeah.
But he bounced back and he delivered some more knockout shots to Punk. So,
yeah.
I mean, if we're going to get a feud out of that, I'm down for it.
I'd be all in for those two guys going at it. Because that'd be awesome.
And I think Rhea and Io are going to win because Rhea's in her home country. So I think Rhea's going to go over. I don't know if Bronson's going to go over, but if he does, it's going to be because of help.
I think Bronson will get the W here. Yeah, help. And maybe a new member of the Vision or something like that.
Or Brock Lesnar interferes. I don't know.
Brock Lesnar could be another one. Yeah, because if they're setting up this War Games, we need a 5-on-5. We need something to go down. Seems like they're setting up Drew Mac and Fatu for something as well. So I don't know where they're. Yeah, where they're involved with it.
Mac's going to be involved in the War Games. I don't know.
So looking forward to what we get tomorrow. I'm going to be waking up bright and early. It's only 8 a.m. It's not that bad. I'll be up already. Make my coffee and breakfast and watch some wrestling.
That should be a good time. And we got NFL. Yeah. We got college football this weekend. And guys, real quick on a quick note, next Tuesday we will be recording our next episode to go out Wednesday before Lefty heads down to Florida, where I am now, and I'll be back in New Jersey. So
that's right. We're switching places, man.
Switching places, but we want to get that one done. But this has been the NightCap Recap. Guys, check it out. It'll be up on Specialty Media. It'll also be on our Instagram page as well, Spotify. You know where to find us. We're everywhere. We're taking over, baby.
That's right.
Always first, always right. And we just got it down like that.
For life. Enjoy, everybody.
NightCap Recap. Jim Berenger, Teddy Repentis, guys. Peace out.